All right, for those I haven't met yet, my name is Guido Smit, and I'm a Holocaust educator at the Holocaust Education Center, which is in the UJA campus on Bathurst, just north of Shepherd. And I've been doing that for about 10 years. Part of it is pre-pandemic, teaching the story of the Holocaust to high school students overwhelmingly. 98% of all the sessions would be with high school classes. And then once a year we would have Holocaust Education Week, which is the week that ends on November 9, because that's the day in which we commemorate the event of Kristallnacht, which in some ways is viewed as sort of the opening shot of the Holocaust, if you will. So being part of that, I at one point took charge of outreach to non-Jewish venues and organizations, and I realized that there had never been a Holocaust Education Week event with a Muslim group, and I felt that that was something that needed to be remedied. So I discovered the wonderful and amazing Razas. Everyone knows Raheel and Sohail. Fabulous. So we need to learn how to do that, but anyway. They jumped into the breach immediately, and ever since, every year, MFT, Muslims Facing Tomorrow, have supported an event during Holocaust Education Week. This year, with all events being essentially online, it's sort of bleached into Holocaust Education Month. So here we are on the 25th of November. In the process, the Razas and Nirda and I became very good personal friends as well. They also did me the honor of inviting me to be on the board of Muslims Facing Tomorrow, which is pretty good for a Jewish boy. So yeah. And in the process, got to meet Rimmel. And so the Razas have been to Israel many, many times. We refer to them as our Muslim Zionist friends. In fact, one time we traveled to Israel together. And then Rimmel got a chance to go to Israel, and he found it very eye-opening. Something different from what is typically portrayed in the Muslim world. When Rimmel sort of internalized the magnitude of the pain and the catastrophic events of the Holocaust, it touched him deeply. Painting is not what his majority work, but he is a painter of an interesting mix of representational art and impressionistic aspects to it. And he felt very much compelled to express his feelings about the Holocaust in artwork. So CMAA, another version of the Raza's efforts, decided to lay on this event, which is how we got to be here. To me, as a Holocaust educator, I find it very touching. I know that there is a history of Muslim activities during the war helping Jews, some very significant stories that are not told as much as they should be, if they are at all. But we also know today that there's a lot of distortion, particularly in the Muslim world, but in the Western world as well, about the Holocaust. So having a Muslim artist take this to heart and processing it and expressing it in this art form is a wonderful thing. And while I was up here, I should also introduce two other members of the board, Sima, and Salman just went out and some critical call. But anyway, here we are. Okay. So if there are questions about the art or how Rimmel Khan got to it, he's the guy to talk to. So enjoy, ask questions, and if you have questions about Holocaust Education Week, then I'd be the guy, I guess. And with that, welcome everyone and enjoy.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay.
I come from a country where the passport says valid for every country of the world except Israel. Yet Israel is the country I've visited the most times, and I can't wait to go there again. I come from a part of the Muslim world that tells me to hate the Jews. Yet it is my Jewish brothers and sisters who stand by me when I'm attacked and support me when I need them. How can I hate them? I come from a country where Islamophobia is invoked at every breath. Yet they have no word to describe the phobias against women, minorities, and those who follow a different path. I come from a country where expressing support for Israel and Zionism is a sin. So yes, I'm a sinner forever, for I am an unapologetic supporter of Israel's right to exist. And as you heard Guido say, have been called a Muslim Zionist. I come from a country where we are taught about us and them. Yet I learned from my good friend Rabbi Abraham Cooper about the meaning of tikkun olam, and I'm trying to heal the world in my own way. I come from a country where divisions and differences are constantly invoked. Yet, I read in the Talmud, whoever destroys a soul, it is considered as if he destroyed the entire world. And whoever saves a life, it is considered as if he has saved the entire world. And I read in the Quran that killing one person is like killing all of humanity. So where is the difference? I come from a part of the world where Holocaust was never discussed and sometimes denied. Yet, I also come from a country where things were not always like this. And today, there are more people like me than we realize. So there is hope. And with changes coming through the Abraham Accord, there are signs of peace. I stand here today to show you that art comes from the heart, and that the heart of this Muslim artist was so moved by the genocide that he has expressed himself in these paintings. Friends, welcome to the exhibit titled, There is No Denial. This program, which I believe is the first of its kind in the world, is sponsored by the Councils of Muslims Against Antisemitism and its coalition partners across the globe. Today, we have crossed all lines of race, religion, and culture to stand with humanity and to share in your pain. The famous Persian poet Hafiz writes, "Human beings are like members of one body. If one part is wounded, the rest hurts. O you who have no pain for others, you are not fit to be called human." You have all met Rimmel, the painter, the artist. Let me give you a slightly formal introduction to Rimmel. Rimmel Khan, who is also on the board of the Council of Muslims Against Antisemitism, is a known media personality in Pakistani circles. He has worked in Pakistan, in the United Kingdom, and in Canada in creative arts to promote culture and diversity. On the one hand, he has worked with prominent Bollywood personalities, and on the other hand, he has helped promote his Islamic heritage. He's not a painter by profession, but as a creative person in media arts, he expresses his innermost feelings through the strokes of a brush. Please come here, Rimmel Khan, the artist. Come, I need you here. I need you here. Come, don't be shy.
I was going to go.
I know, that's why I didn't want to be manhandled.
Rimmel.
Well, no, I'm not going to say anything.
Rimmel is like an adopted son. He gives me just as much trouble as my own sons do. But he is also a member of the Council of Muslims Against Antisemitism. And as of today, I would say he's the most active member. He is not a painter by profession, and he insists on saying that. When he's called an artist, he says he's a
hobbyist.
A hobbyist. I have no idea what that means, but this is what he says. But as a creative person in media arts, he does express his innermost feelings through the strokes of a brush. I'm so proud to call him my adopted son. And I will let him explain what inspired inspired you to make Holocaust paintings?
Well, we all decided as the council to do an event for the month of November as the Holocaust Month, Education Month. And it was Sohail's idea to do something different and to do an artistic expression of the event. So that's how it came into being, and then I started sort of conceptualizing the ideas, and that's what this is. This is more of what emotions and thoughts that I had. I'm not a painter or an artist, so obviously nothing is right, but it's the idea and the thought, and I hope that I could do it justice, because it was a horrific event in mankind history. And as a Muslim, I'm proud to express that.
See, that wasn't so bad.
No?
I could please ask Ariella from the Israeli consulate to come and
I'm the Director of Academic and Community Affairs at the Consulate of Israel, and I mean, getting an invite to an event like this is very meaningful, not just for my career or peoplehood, being part of the Jewish people, but also for me personally. As Raheel knows, my family is from India, and my grandmother was born and raised in Karachi, and I grew up with her stories, hearing about the positive and unfortunately some negative experiences that the community did go through during the partition. But I'm sorry, I'm getting a little emotional, but I was very close with her, and I'm just thinking, like, if she knew that I was at an event like this amongst friends, I can't imagine like what her opinion would be. And for me, it's kind of full circle being here and being friends with with such amazing people here. I really feel like I'm amongst family, amongst friends, and I really feel like this can be a start of a big change. And I'm looking forward to being part of that change. And part of my position here at the consulate is to really obviously strengthen the connection between Israel and the Jewish people and the Jewish community here in Canada, but also to strengthen the connection between just Canadians to Israel. And an event like this, I just feel like it really runs home. You know what I mean? Like going through all the paintings with you, every painting we went through, I was getting more emotional. I felt like it took me back to being in school and hearing from Holocaust survivors, and going to Poland about 3 years ago. I went to Poland for the first time, but to see in your perspective and to hear how the Holocaust has affected you personally, it really touched me. And I look forward to more events like this. This is one of many, hopefully, to come. And thank you for the invitation, and I look forward to working closely in the future. Thank you.